Yo, what's up? It's your brother. And hopefully your friend, Big Hill. Kwesi in the building. As you can see, I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I'm doing a little early morning drive and just came through the mountains. Mountains of West Virginia and Virginia coming from Ohio. Should have gave y'all a picture of me coming down the mountain, but I had to concentrate, so I figured I would wait till I'm finished. Had a few things I wanted to discuss right quick, a few things I want to talk about, just something to try to keep my mind tight while I'm trying to knock these last couple of hours of this shift off right here. The first thing I want to say is that I will no longer be using the title of my videos as Ra's Rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been looking at, I was watching a lecture by our brother Baba Hiawatha, comedian Hiawatha, better known as Booker T. Coleman, brother from New York. You know, he's a historian and a lecturer. You probably know he's the brother on the Hidden Colors film that looked like he maybe got some Indian, got the rag tied around his head. It's that brother. And he gave a history on the word lecture. On the word rhetoric. I'm sorry. You know, my understanding of the word rhetoric, that it just meant skillful language, skillful speaking. And I use Ra's Rhetoric just to, when you see one of my videos, just to let you know that I'm just talking about something. I'm really not a skillful speaker or a skillful lecturer, but I am a communicator. And most people that have known me most of my life will tell you that's what they know me for, just being someone who talks a lot. But my brother gave a history on the word rhetoric. You know, and he said that it started in Europe. You know, I think it was Greek. The Greeks came up with that word. And he kind of gave the analogy of that when the brothers get together, you know, we bullshit, right? And he said that's the same type, you know we ain't talking about nothing. It's just, we just shooting the shit. And he said that's the same thing that rhetoric used to mean to the European. And he said that a European would rather you say that they was just bullshit for you to say anything that they talking about was rhetoric. Rhetoric was offensive to the European. So I ain't really just thought about it, but I'm gonna have to come up with another title to my videos, because I would like to think that when I give my vocal discourses, you know, and the things that I talk about, a lot of the times I'm just sharing information. And more often than not, I'm sharing information. And then there's sometimes, man, that I just got something on my mind, like right now, where I'm just kind of freestyling and going off the dome. You know, really don't have no information out of a book or no literature to share. It's just some things that I want to talk about, which I call it rhetoric. But, you know, as I just said, you know, that rhetoric has a negative connotation to it. And I don't want to no longer title my talks as rhetoric, because of the breakdown that our brother gave that word. Because like I say, I would like to think that my title, that the things that I say is a whole lot more than bullshit. So anyway, the first thing I want to talk about, man, is health and faith, you know. And the reason why, you know, I've been kind of pondering on this a few days, whether or not I was even going to discuss it, but I think it's important. I think, matter of fact, that this topic is important, because the reason what brought me to want to discuss it is, like the other day I was scrolling on my Facebook page, and one of my Facebook friends posted on there, if I can remember the post correctly, it says like arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, gout, and she just named a whole lot of conditions that we as black people have. It says if you know that Jesus will take this away, say amen. And when I read that, man, you know, it kind of perturbed me a little bit. Because I'm like, see, that's where they got us as black people. Thinking just because you say amen that it's going to take some of these conditions and turn them around. So I just simply put on the post that you can pray all day to Jesus. But just praying to Jesus is not going to turn around all these conditions that's mentioned above in this post, all that stuff I just named. Then I even went further to say that faith without works is dead. You can pray all you want, but until you do something and start living a lifestyle and make some changes in your life that's going to try to reverse these conditions, then you just praying to Jesus is not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And a little while later in the day, I guess one of her friends, one of the people who posted the post, friends, came back and I think she made a statement like, well, I don't know about you, but my Jesus, a takeaway. I think my faith in Jesus, a takeaway. All that stuff. And I think from the tone of her words, she might have thought that I was attacking her faith and her Christianity. Because it seemed like to me, the tone, I wish I had the post right now, I could read it, but the tone of her comment led me to believe that she felt like I was attacking her Christianity on what she said. So what I explained to her was, I'm like, nah. Well, she made a comment about those things being passed down, like those things are hereditary. And I'm like, no, most of the ills that we have as a people are not hereditary. And I explained to her, a lot of what's passed down is bad eating habits, bad diets, and things like that. Like if your grandmother was somebody who ate a lot of pork, ate a lot of salt, had high blood pressure, had diabetes, and your mother grew up eating the same diet that your grandmother ate, then naturally your mother after 30 or 40 years is going to develop these same complications. You know what I'm saying? So if you grew up with your mother or your father eating the same diet that gave her high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, heart disease, arthritis. If you grew up eating the same diet that gave your mother and your grandmother that, then of course you're going to develop these same things. So the condition is not passed down. What's passed down is just bad living and bad eating habits. You know, my mother had diabetes, but I don't have diabetes. You know, I made a video recently about me having high blood pressure. And in 6 months' time, by changing doing the opposite of what I was doing to get the high blood pressure and using herbs and things like that, now my blood pressure is not high anymore. So when I explained to her that these conditions that we have as black people are not going to change just because we go in a church and pray to Jesus. And I even took her to the Bible, James 2:17, that faith without works is dead. Well, she came back and said, well, yeah, they are. You know, some of them are hereditary. And I see that she wanted to hang on to that part, and the tone of her comments were no longer about me attacking her Christianity, but it was more so she was trying to explain to me that those conditions that is mentioned in the post are passed down. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll give her that. I'll give her that. I done told you what's passed down is bad habits that we get from our parents and grandparents. Bad eating habits. Diabetes don't just come, you don't just get diabetes. You develop diabetes. You don't just get high blood pressure. You ain't born with high blood pressure, you develop it. You ain't born with diabetes. You develop these things over a lifetime with the things that you put in your body. By, you know, growing up eating pig knuckles and hog's ass and high contents of salt and all types of unhealthy foods all your life. And then by the time you get to my generation, by the time we got to our 30s, we had these conditions. These days, you got 9 and 10-year-olds with type 2 diabetes. Why? Because every meal that they eat is from a fast food restaurant. You got parents sticking french fries from McDonald's in a 1 or 2 year old's mouth, getting them hooked on that garbage. And now they growing up that every meal they get, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is from McDonald's, Wendy's, or one of these fast food places. So 10 or 15 years of eating that type of stuff on a daily basis, by the time they get 15, they suffer from obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and all these things that's killing us as black people. Why? Because of the things we're putting in our mouth. You know what I'm saying? Back in my generation, I'm a 60 baby, we didn't get fast food every day. That stuff was like a treat. You know, most of the people that's 50 years old, or between, that was born in the 60s and 70s, you know what I'm saying, we didn't start getting those health problems until we got to our mid-20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Because we started eating that stuff around about 18 after we got grown, so 10 or 15 years later when we got in our 30s, then those symptoms of eating that garbage started showing up in our lives, diabetes and high blood pressure. So, you know, the young lady, she kind of agreed with me, you know, especially when I took her to the Bible, because that was my point. I wasn't attacking the Christianity. I was trying to let her know it's okay to pray to Jesus if that's your faith. But understand that faith without works is dead. You can pray all you want to. But if you're not trying to make the changes in your life that's conducive to having good health, just praying to Jesus ain't going to change nothing. Believe me when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. Faith without works is dead, to say it in the scriptures. So when you get up off your knees praying, you need to be changing your diet. You maybe need to go do some exercise if you got these conditions. You maybe need to go and try to find ways to overcome these illnesses instead of just sitting back praying, waiting for something to happen. No, it don't work. Faith don't work like that. And that's where they done messed us up as black people. You know what I'm saying? It's my thing fell. I want y'all to see what's going on while I'm driving. That's where they mess us up as black people, man, by having us believe that little simple faith like that, blind faith, and no works behind it, is going to change something in our life. Got us looking outside of ourselves for cures and to things that we can supposed to take care of ourselves. But anyway, man, that's all I wanted to say on that, man. As y'all can see, I'm having a little technical difficulties, and right now, I can't mess with this here phone to drive. So I'm going to end that video, and I just want to give you a little something different and holler at you there for a few minutes. Once again, it's your brother Big Hill. Peace. I'm out.